Welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time to talk men's basketball. And with us, head coach Andy Bronkema. And coach, first of all, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Robert.
Hard fought this past weekend, a couple big games at home, and taking on Northwood and Lake Superior State in GLIAC North Division play. And as we saw the week before when you went to the UP, the North, a tough division, and it seems like every game comes down to the wire.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting just to see how this all unfolds. But we try to take it one at a time, and you look at those teams we just played, and you just have a lot of respect for their programs and the coaches there and what they've built, and you know they're going to come right down to the wire. We had some great crowds this week at Wink Arena. I mean, it was amazing. It was a fun week to compete, and the atmosphere was unbelievable. Against Northwood, you know, we were able to prevail in the end, you know, kind of riding the heels of hot shooting by Drew Lehman and some other guys stepping up. And then on Saturday against Lake State, you know, some cold shooting, and we still almost pulled it out, but just didn't shoot well enough.
Before we go to the highlights, you mentioned the crowd and the atmosphere. As a former player, for your current players, what is it like to play in front of crowds like that?
Well, it's worth a few points. I know that. The home court advantage is big, and it's just exciting. And you know, when you have recruits looking at the film and just the overall atmosphere that you want to build and sustain here, that's what it's all about. So I hope the fans were having a good time. I know they were, and so were we. So it was just it was a good day overall. As
we go to the highlights of the game on Thursday against Northwood, Northwood comes in as one of the teams in the North that's really competing as well for conference tournament spots at the end of the year, and certainly battled, gave yourselves a great battle.
Wow, they just have talented players. You know, night in and night out, you're going against really talented players, and pretty good schemes by the other coaches. You know, they have some things they do well. You try to take it away. They're disciplined with their offense, running cuts, spacing the floor, and you see Landcable there stretching the floor, hitting a shot, and then one of the rookies here hit 4 threes on us in this game, just spacing the floor. One of the best centers in the league, Will Bulls. Tough shot there by Josh over Will, but you know, we were able to capitalize on a few things in this game that in the end put us over the top. You know, Drew just had 2 different segments in here. He ended up with 28 where he was just on fire, but had enough energy, shared the ball, had the assist where we like him, and came out with a victory.
Bulldogs here trailed early, but certainly came back, led by 5 at halftime, pushed that lead to double digits in the second half, and then were able to hold them off at the end as Northwood tried to battle back towards the end.
Yeah, you know what? It's a learning experience. I think we got up as many as 18 and then kind of got onto our heels. I never like to slow it down too early, and I thought we did. We started to use the clock a little too early, and that put us kind of in, hold on, don't lose mentality. So I never liked that mentality. I always like to win it and instead of not trying to lose. And then they just put us on our heels. They went downhill with the drive, and our help was a little late, but there wasn't enough time on the clock for them to come back. So we're happy about the victory.
See the final basket here from Drew Lehman. He led the way, as you mentioned, with 28 points. Got a big game from Dietrich Lever as well. Those 2 seniors leading the way in both games this past weekend.
Oh, well, if they play well, along with a few others, we're going to have a good chance to win. So we're relying on those guys for their leadership, for their experience, and we're going to keep tweaking things and getting better. Don't get me wrong, but we're just going to go as far as they want to take us.
You get that big win over Northwood on Thursday night, sets up a big showdown on Saturday against the defending GLIAC North champs, and a game that was a battle at both ends of the floor.
You know what? Lake Superior is a great team, defending champs, and they got a lot of talent back, and they're scrappy. They're just scrappy, tough, hard-nosed, and I think they got the better of us in the grit department, the first few minutes of the game. But once we settled in, there's a typical play right there. They're just, scratching and clawing, and they do a great job of that, and you got to respect that. But, once we settled in, even though we didn't continue to make any of our shots, we just settled in, got some great defensive stops, some blocks, really fortified on defense, and then in the second half we just crept in it, put a little press on them, and we're able to climb back in it with a chance to win at the end, which was pretty amazing the way we shot the ball versus the way they shot the ball.
They shot the ball well here from 3-point range, 12 threes on the day, and we'll see them shoot 83% in the second half. Tough to pull out a win when they're shooting that well from the outside.
You know, you look back at the film and you see a couple of the defensive rotations where we would like to have done it a little bit better, how we teach it. But some of it is, you know, just credit to Lake State for having great players, making big plays, and they knocked them down. And you know, this is probably not going to be the biggest game versus Lake State this year. We're going to play them up at their place, and it's going to mean a lot for both teams. And then, you know, potentially in the tournament, maybe even the national tournament. So this is just setting the table for some other good ones against the Lakers.
The Bulldogs here in the second half, you fell behind by 15 points with about 10 minutes left, but your team certainly showed plenty of resolve, battled back, and as you mentioned, had a chance to win it here in the end. Resolve
is not the problem with this team. I mean, we've done that all year long, and it's just, you know, a couple times on the bench, I just sat there thinking, man, we got a real good team here. They'll never die, and I'm proud of the guys. Like I said, we have some chances. Here we go at the end. You know, good call by coach going zone against us, threw off our man-to-man play, but Lehman got us into our zone set there. We just couldn't get the right shot that we wanted. Would have liked to have another timeout and made a better coaching decision there for our guys. But overall, anytime you lose a close game like that, as a competitor, you think it's your fault. You know, as a coach, as a player, each one of the guys that had a part in it, they know if they would have done one thing different, we could have won that game, and our guys realize that, and that's why I think moving forward we're gonna continue to have success. You mentioned another big game against Lake Superior, at least one more coming up later on in the year, but some big games this week. You start with Hillsdale at home on Thursday night, at Saginaw Valley. You're tied for first place with Saginaw Valley on Saturday, and then back at Grand Valley State next Monday. Talk about this stretch of 3 games. This is just always an interesting stretch because the league likes to put that you know, rivalry travel partner game on that Monday and just jam it right in there. Why not? You know, not a lot of days of prep for each of these teams, but each one of them, I mean, again, it's just going to come down to the wire and executing, and it's, you know, it's a play at the 5-minute and 37-second mark in the first half where, you know, you were a little lazy and you didn't make the play. That comes back to haunt you. So any of these teams could beat us if we play well. I do like our chances. Hillsdale's got a great motion offense with one of the best offensive players in the league, and Kyle Cooper, and you know, Saginaw is playing well. A lot like us. That team is a lot like us. Pretty hard man-to-man defense, run a nice motion offense, and they're pretty balanced. And then the rivalry game against Grand Valley. Enough said. Well, Coach, congratulations again on all the success you've had, and best of luck to the Bulldogs this week. Thanks, Robert. We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.